Hi everyone, it's me, and today, let's unearth the truth about his family. Rick and Morty, let's go.
Hello Internet, welcome to Film Theory.
Hello Internet, welcome to Film Theory. Hi.
Show officially tolerated by Dan Harmon. Sure,
Hey.
Rick and Morty Season 3's finale may have just aired, but today my sights are set on the episode that came before, the ABCs of Beth, which had...
Alright, please remember that this video came out in the year 2017, so a lot of things have changed. But it's really good to look at 4 years ago stuff, so let's go!
one of the most ambiguous endings in the history of the series and had the potential to forever change everything we thought we knew about a member of the show's main cast. Now at this point you all know that where there's ambiguity in a show, there are theories to be had, and I think that I have this one pretty well solved. You can pull the wool over everyone else's eyes there, Dan, but not this guy. After last week's collab, we're like totally soul bonded now. Or at least I like to think so.
You understand how serious Crutabulon soul bonding is?
The character in question is Beth, the unfulfilled mother of the Smith family, who gets a chance to revisit Fruipyland, her imaginary childhood world with the single dumbest name possible.
You know, if you're so great at naming things, why don't you do it from now on?
While there, Beth is horrified to learn that
He's like, ouch, burn himself.
Fruipyland is now ruled over by her childhood friend Tommy, who she may or may not have tried to kill out of jealousy as a kid.
You want to see the honey swamp? Yes! Well, I want to see you dead.
Huh, well, that's interesting.
Fake news.
In order to survive in this fantasy world, Tommy has had to resort to an endless cycle of incest and cannibalism. It's basically the most disturbing version of Jumanji ever.
I'm an overweight middle-aged man. Wait a second. Where's my phone?
Okay, second most disturbing version of Jumanji ever. Fast forward to the end of the episode. Beth tries to bring Tommy back to reality in order to reunite him with his family and save his father's life. His father, who happens to be on death row, supposedly guilty for Tommy's disappearance. Tommy, though, refuses to leave his incest kingdom, and Beth has no choice but to gruesomely finish the job that she started back when she was like 7. Rick suggests that they solve the dead Tommy problem by creating a clone of Tommy with the finger that he so happily donated to Beth during her murderous rampage, thereby acquitting Tommy's father of the child murder charges. They do so, and with an innocent man freed, a family reunited, and the day saved, Beth spirals into some existential angst.
Dad, I'm out of excuses to not be who I am. So, who am I? What do I do?
Rick then drops a bombshell, saying that the same process that they used to create the clone of Tommy could also be used to create a clone of Beth, allowing Beth to go off on whatever soul-searching journeys that she wants, while the clone takes care of the kids back at home.
No! You're trying to say that they cloned one of the main characters? What the...
After staring at some photos of her family, Beth comes to a decision. And then the show immediately cuts away without us ever knowing what that decision is. The next time that we see her and Rick, though, they're behaving very differently. Very affectionate, even dropping the dreaded L word.
I love you, Dad.
Love you too, sweetie.
The episode ends and leaves us with one question. Are 3 boobs truly better than 2? Oh, sorry, that's the B storyline. Leaves us...
Okay, let's keep this family-friendly, wholesome. Thank you so much.
with one question: did Beth choose to stay, or did she replace herself with a clone? It may seem like the creators of the show have made it impossible for us to know for sure, but the show actually gives us all the information that we need to figure it out definitively.
Interesting. So did she stay? I want you to stay. Oh, I want you to stay.
Throughout this episode, clocks and references to exact units of time are everywhere. First, we get a glimpse of the clock in the execution chamber when Beth and Rick prevent Tommy's father from being lethally injected. It reads 1:56, and this gives us our starting point. We can assume that shortly after that, Rick and Beth start to head home. We know that they drive home and don't use the portal gun because we see them actually walk through the front door. This also makes sense since they were transporting Tommy, who needed to stay unaware of Rick's crazy scientific schemes. So we know for a fact that they were at the execution chamber around 2 p.m., and it would take some time for them to return from the execution site back to their home, where Rick eventually makes his cloning offer. But how long would that take? Well, we can calculate the distance between the two locations. We know for a fact, thanks to Justin Roiland's Twitter account, that the Smith residence is canonically located in the suburbs outside of Seattle, Washington. And this is a weird factoid that I never really thought about, but makes a lot of sense now that I'm researching it. It's not like every city has their own execution chamber just waiting to be used. In fact, there is only one execution chamber in the entire state of Washington, and it's located at the state penitentiary in Walla Walla, Washington, a 4.5-hour drive away from the Seattle area.
Alright, so it's around 4.5 hours.
That means that even if Beth were in a rush to get home after the 2 p.m. execution, the soonest that she would be arriving back at the Smith residence
Evening or at night time.
would be around 6:30 p.m. Mark it down because it's a crucial point in our timeline. When they get back to the house, Beth indicates that she's exhausted and ready to call it a day. It's only after this point that Rick gives Beth the talk and reveals that he has the ability to replace her with a clone. We know from earlier in the episode with Tommy that the process of growing a clone takes around 3 hours. Also worth pointing out, it's an oddly suspicious detail for the writers to include there, right? Almost like they wanted us to know this information for some reason. Anyway, regardless, this means that the absolute soonest that Rick could possibly have a clone ready to replace her with would be around 9:30 p.m. provided everything goes perfectly. But
Okay, now that's a bit weird.
wait, freeze frame the clip of the kids coming home at the end of the episode. Look out the window. It's broad daylight. Does that look like 9:30 p.m. anywhere in the world to you? Even at Seattle's northern latitude, which does give it longer days during the summer, the longest day of the year has its sunset at around 9 o'clock p.m. Even then, the longest day of Seattle's year, by 9:45, it would already be dark outside, which means that the final scene we see of the Smith family has to happen at around 8:30 p.m. at the latest. It's certainly enough time for Beth to get back from the Washington State Penitentiary, but definitely not enough time for Rick to have created a clone to replace her in that final scene. Ergo, the Beth that we see in this final scene must be
The next days.
the real deal. She is 100% authentic Beth Smith. It turns out she decided to stay at home and be a mother to her children rather than head out on some wacky, fantastical, soul-searching adventure. The adventure she chose for herself in that moment was motherhood.
Oh, that's so good. You know, being so loving, being a mother for your family, for your children's. Now that's called good parenting. Thank you.
Okay, so now let's deal with some challenges that I'm sure I'm gonna hear in the comments. First, maybe all this is happening on a separate day, but we can prove for a fact that it's not. At the beginning of the episode, we hear that the kids are late for their custody weekend with Jerry.
Aren't you guys supposed to be at your father's for custody weekend?
And we hear on the TV that the execution is happening, quote, tomorrow.
Child murderer Joseph Eli Lipnip is scheduled to die tomorrow by lethal injection.
So we know that the episode is starting on a Saturday and the execution is happening on a Sunday. We see Saturday night midway through the episode, so we know that everything around the clones is happening on Sunday, the day of Tommy's father's execution. We also know that the kids are headed back home Sunday evening and not Monday morning because the pizza place Ronaldo's is closed because it's too late.
I think Arnaldo's is closed.
And lastly, we know that this show doesn't cheat time. Dimension hopping, yes, but messing around with time is a big no-no on Rick and Morty. Just take it from my buddy Dan.
Time travel is a real shark jumper.
Plus, Rick even reminds us that
True, you can mess around with different dimensions, but not different timelines. Quite a sharp jumper.
at the end of the episode that there are no time travel shenanigans to be had.
By the way, that wasn't time travel.
Which means that all else considered, we can definitively say that Beth is real. It was like the show's creators were drawing our attention to these details to ask us to solve the mystery on our own. Just like I'm drawing your attention to the subscribe button right now so that you can solve the mystery of subscribing on your own. That way you can be notified of more Rick and Morty theories in the future. Click it, and while you're down there next to the comments, let me know in 3 seconds whether you think at the end of the episode was Beth real or was she a clone? Just one word, real or clone. Curious how many of you I was able to convince. Now, I know that some fans have been picking apart that scene, trying to figure out whether the Beth we see at the end is a clone based on her behavior, debating about whether she's acting more affectionate than the real Beth would. But in this episode, we don't need to psychoanalyze anyone to come up with the truth. The solution was right there, waiting to come out. It was all just a matter of time. But hey, that's just a theory. A film theory. And cut. And by the way, special thanks to Reddit user DeathsComing23 who got me to look into this theory on the Game Theorists subreddit. Your suggestion to look at the clocks was awesome. And also, just as a reminder, I don't talk about it all that much, but if you guys have a theory request or just a theory of your own, the best way for me to see it is actually on the Game Theorist or Film Theorist subreddit. Yes, some loyal theorists actually created one for film theory too. I'm trolling around there pretty frequently to see what you guys are excited to see covered and if you have any great theory starters of your own, so check them out if you haven't. And hey, Hey, if you missed my collaboration with Rick and Morty creator himself, Dan Harmon, picking apart the science of Pickle Rick, well, that video link is on your left. To the right is something that YouTube has algorithmically determined that you'll want to watch next. Let's see how good of a job it does. See you next week for something that's a little bit more emotive.
Oh, what rhymes with that emoji? Well, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that this video has been very interesting to watch. A lot of thought-provoking stuff, especially when the writers, the producers, the people that created it actually redirects to talk to you. It's not time travel, by the way. It's like breaking the fourth wall. But anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. If you do like this video, please remember to like, share and subscribe to my channel, and comment down below if you have anything to share with us. Don't forget to follow my channel, and I sincerely appreciate all of your support and encouragement for my work. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you all in my next video. But hey, that's just a theory. A film theory! And cut! And I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye! Please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much. Bye bye! Subscribe! Subscribe. Thank you. Over here.